Have you ever wondered how some people just seem to skip the whole traditional career ladder and start earning big, like really fast? Well, today we're going to break down a framework that is built to do exactly that, get you to $10,000 a month. So let's just dive right in. Okay, first, I want you to meet two people. On the last, you've got Joey. Joey did everything right, straight A's, top of his class, followed all the rules. And what did he get for it? A job paying about 5.5 grand a month, loaded with student debt and a ton of stress. Now, over on the right, this is Kai. Kai is a school dropout. He has no degree. But his reality? He's pulling in over $15,000 a month, and he has the freedom to travel the world while he does it. Look, this isn't to say that the traditional path is a bad thing, but you just can't ignore that massive difference in the outcome. So what is the big difference here? Joey, he followed the path where all told is the safe one, the right one. But Kai? Well, Kai became something else entirely. He just didn't play by the old rules. And that, right there, is the key to his success. And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What on earth did Kai do that Joey didn't? What was his secret? What was his unfair advantage? It's this. He became what we call a digital architect. Now, this isn't some fancy job title you find on LinkedIn. It's a completely new way of working. It's all about finding your natural, God-given talents and combining them with online services to build a career that pays you well and gives you real independence. So, how do you actually become one? Well, it all starts with a huge mindset shift. You basically have to unlearn what school taught you and instead focus on unlocking what you're already naturally good at. Just look at this quote for a second. The worst advice anyone can give you is to improve your weaknesses. Now, really think about that. Our entire school system, from kindergarten all the way up, is built on that one idea. Find what you're bad at, and then spend all your time and energy trying to fix it. The alternative to that is a strategy called talent maxing. And the idea here is incredibly simple. Forget about your weaknesses. Seriously. Instead, you focus 100% of your energy on amplifying your innate strengths, the things you're already good at. You double down on what makes you, you. And if that sounds a little crazy, just look at this study. It's wild. It found that at age 5, a mind-blowing 98% of us test at a genius level for something called divergent thinking. That's basically your natural creativity. But by the time we're adults, that number has plummeted, all the way down to just 2%. The system literally trains our unique talents right out of us. But here's the good news. Those talents are still in there. And according to this framework, pretty much everyone falls into at least one of these 4 core talent categories. You're either an organizer, somebody who's great at creating systems and structure, an analyst, who's amazing at spotting patterns, a communicator, who just naturally excels at persuading and influencing others, or a creative, who sees possibilities where nobody else does. So just take a second and look at that list again. Be honest with yourself. Which one of those sounds the most like you? Because figuring out your core talent, that's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. Okay, so once you know what your natural talent is, the very next step is to choose a service, something you can offer that can actually get you to that $10,000 a month goal. Now, for any service to be worth big money, it has to follow these 3 golden rules. It has to do one of these 3 things for another business. 1, make them more money. 2, save them a bunch of time. Or 3, save them a bunch of money. That's it. It's that simple. If your service doesn't check one of those boxes, it's not a business, it's a hobby. And here's where it all starts to click together. On the left, you see some high-demand online services that businesses are desperate for right now. And on the right, you can see the core talents that are a perfect match. So, for example, if you're an analyst or an organizer, you would absolutely crush it with something like AI automation. If you're a communicator, you're a natural-born deal-maker. And if you're a creative, well, something like designing a brand identity would be right up your alley. But here's the most important thing to remember. Don't get paralyzed trying to pick the perfect service. Just think of them as vehicles. They're all different cars, but they all have the potential to get you to the same destination, $10,000 a month. Just pick the one that feels right for your talent and start driving. All right, so you've picked your vehicle. Now what? How do you actually get good enough at it to charge real money? That's where something called the skill maxing loop comes in. This right here gets to the absolute heart of it. We're always told that you have to learn before you can earn. Go to school, get the piece of paper, and then you're allowed to go make money. This framework flips that whole idea on its head.
The truth is, the fastest way to get good at anything is to be learning and earning at the exact same time. And here's the process for doing it. It's a simple 5-step loop that you just repeat over and over. Step 1, you define your service in its most basic form. Step 2, you sell it. And yes, you sell it before you feel 100% ready. That's crucial. Step 3, you deliver it for a real paying client. Step 4, you fix your process based on their feedback. You get rid of the hiccups. And step 5, you systemize what works so you can do it faster and better next time.
And the magic is that it's a loop. You don't just do this once. Every single time you go around this cycle, your skills get sharper, your confidence skyrockets, and your service becomes more and more valuable. This is the engine that's going to push your income up toward that $10,000 mark.
But getting to 10 grand a month is one thing. The next challenge is, how do you scale beyond that? How do you go from just offering a service to becoming a real, recognized authority in your field? Oh man, this slide says it all. Look at the difference. On the left, you have the typical freelancer. Their pitch is, I build landing pages. It's a task. It's a commodity. But on the right, the digital architect says, I turn existing traffic into paying customers. You see the difference? It's the same work, but one sells a task, while the other sells a multi-million-dollar result. One is seen as a cost. The other is an investment. The lesson here is so simple, but so powerful. Stop talking about what you do. Nobody cares about the technical stuff, the features, the process. Start talking about what your service does for them, the outcome, the value, the solution to their big, painful problem. Making that one little shift in how you talk is what lets you charge 10 times more. And that leads us to the final piece of the puzzle, brand maxing. This is all about building a personal brand that's so strong, so trusted, that opportunities start coming to you. You're not chasing clients anymore. When people in your industry have a problem, your name is the very first one that pops into their head. You're not just some service provider anymore. You are the authority. So we've covered the whole framework, from finding your innate talent to picking a service vehicle, mastering it with a skill maxing loop, and then scaling up to become an authority. But none of it works if you don't start with that first step. It all comes back to what you are naturally wired to be good at. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Your talent is the key. What are you going to build with it?